Have you ever felt overwhelmed by your emotions, like you were on an emotional roller coaster clinging on for dear life? We've all been there. Emotions are a fundamental part of the human experience. They color our world, fuel our passions, and connect us to one another. But when emotions run wild, they can wreak havoc on our lives. That's where emotional self-regulation comes in. Emotional self-regulation is the ability to understand, manage, and express our emotions in healthy and constructive ways. It's about finding that sweet spot between being ruled by our emotions and denying their existence altogether. It's about recognizing that emotions are like waves. They ebb and flow, and trying to fight them only creates more turbulence. Instead, emotional self-regulation empowers us to ride the waves with grace and resilience. Why is emotional self-regulation so important? Because it's the key to unlocking a more fulfilling and meaningful life. When we master our emotions, we master ourselves. We're able to show up in the world as our best selves, calmer, more confident, and more capable of navigating life's challenges. Think of emotional self-regulation as a superpower, one that allows you to harness the energy of your emotions and direct it towards your goals. It's a journey of self-discovery, a process of learning to understand and befriend your inner landscape. And like any superpower, it takes practice, patience, and a whole lot of self-compassion. But trust me, the rewards are immeasurable. Before we dive into the nitty-gritty of emotional self-regulation, let's talk about emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, is the foundation upon which effective emotional regulation is built. It's like the instruction manual for understanding and navigating the complex world of emotions, both our own and those of others. EQ encompasses several key components, including self-awareness. This is the ability to recognize and understand our own emotions and how they impact our thoughts and behaviors. It's about being attuned to our emotional triggers and patterns, knowing our strengths and limitations, and having a realistic self-assessment. Self-management. Once we're aware of our emotions, self-management comes into play. This component involves regulating our emotions in healthy ways, expressing them appropriately, and adapting our behavior to different situations. It also encompasses taking responsibility for our actions and managing stress effectively. Social awareness EQ isn't just about us, it's about understanding and empathizing with the emotions of those around us. Social awareness allows us to pick up on subtle cues in social interactions, understand different perspectives, and navigate social situations with sensitivity. Relationship management. This component builds upon social awareness and involves using our understanding of emotions to build and maintain healthy relationships. It encompasses effective communication, conflict resolution, and the ability to inspire and influence others. By developing our emotional intelligence, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and others. This heightened awareness lays the groundwork for effective emotional self-regulation. It's like learning to read the map of our emotional landscape so that we can navigate it with confidence and skill. Emotions are complex. They're not just fleeting feelings, they're powerful forces that influence our thoughts, behaviors, and physical sensations. To effectively regulate our emotions, we first need to understand their nature. Imagine emotions as a dance, a constant flow of energy that ebbs and flows throughout our bodies. Each emotion has its own rhythm and intensity. Some emotions like joy, excitement, and love feel light and expansive. They lift us up, fill us with energy, and create a sense of connection. Others, like sadness, anger, and fear, can feel heavy and constricting. They might make us want to withdraw, lash out, or freeze in our tracks. It's important to remember that all emotions are valid. There's no such thing as a good or bad emotion. Each emotion serves a purpose, even the ones that feel uncomfortable. For example, fear alerts us to potential danger, sadness allows us to process loss and grief, and anger can motivate us to make positive changes. The key is to learn how to recognize and acknowledge our emotions without judgment. Instead of suppressing or denying our emotions, we can approach them with curiosity and compassion. What is this emotion trying to tell me? What triggered it? What sensations am I experiencing in my body? Emotional regulation is not about suppressing our emotions or pretending they don't exist. It's about learning to respond to our emotions in healthy and constructive ways. It's about choosing how we want to feel and act, rather than being controlled by our initial emotional reactions. Imagine this scenario. You're stuck in traffic, and you're already running late for an important meeting. Your heart starts to race, your palms get sweaty, and you feel a surge of anger rising within you. What do? Without emotional regulation, you might react impulsively. You start honking your horn, yelling at the other drivers, and feeling your stress levels skyrocket. Suppress your emotions. You try to ignore your anger, but it only festers beneath the surface, leaving you feeling tense and irritable. With emotional regulation, you can pause and breathe. Take a few deep breaths and acknowledge your anger without judgment. Remind yourself that traffic is beyond your control. Reframe your perspective. Instead of focusing on the negative, try to find a silver lining. Maybe you can use this time to listen to your favorite podcast or call a friend. Choose a constructive response. Once you've calmed down, you can decide on the best course of action. Perhaps you can send a quick text to let your colleagues know you'll be late. Emotional regulation empowers us to respond to challenging situations with greater awareness, clarity, and intention. It helps us to break free from reactive patterns and make choices that align with our values and goals. Section 5. Navigating the ups and downs. Strategies for emotional mastery. Just like learning any new skill, mastering emotional regulation takes practice and patience. There's no one-size-fits-all approach, and what works for one person may not work for another. The key is to experiment with different strategies and find what resonates with you. Here are a few techniques to get you started. Mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment. Regular mindfulness practice, such as meditation, can help us become more aware of our emotions as they arise, without getting swept away by them. Deep breathing exercises. When we're stressed or overwhelmed, our breath becomes shallow and rapid. Deep breathing exercises can help to calm the nervous system, slow down our heart rate, and create a sense of peace. Cognitive reframing. Our thoughts have a powerful impact on our emotions. Cognitive reframing involves challenging negative or unhelpful thoughts and replacing them with more balanced and realistic ones. Journaling. Writing down our thoughts and feelings can be a powerful way to process emotions and gain clarity. Journaling provides a safe space to explore our inner world without judgment. Physical activity exercise has been shown to have numerous benefits for both our physical and mental health. Physical activity releases endorphins, which have mood-boosting effects, and helps us to regulate our stress response. Remember, mastering emotional regulation is a journey, not a destination. There will be times when you stumble, and that's okay. The most important thing is to approach yourself with compassion and keep practicing. Over time, you'll develop a greater sense of self-awareness, resilience, and emotional well-being. The ripple effect. How emotional regulation impacts our relationships. Our emotions don't exist in a vacuum. They ripple out, impacting the people around us and shaping the quality of our relationships. When we're able to regulate our emotions effectively, we create a more harmonious and fulfilling experience for ourselves and those we care about. Think about it. When you're feeling calm and centered, you're more likely to communicate effectively. You're able to express your needs and feelings clearly and respectfully, without resorting to blame or criticism. You can resolve conflicts constructively. You approach disagreements with empathy and understanding, seeking solutions that work for everyone involved. You can set healthy boundaries. You're able to say no when you need to, without feeling guilty or resentful. You also cultivate deeper connections. You're more present and engaged in your interactions, which allows for more meaningful and authentic relationships. On the other hand, when we're emotionally reactive, we often say or do things we regret. In the heat of the moment, we might lash out, withdraw, or say things that hurt the people we care about. We create unnecessary drama and conflict. Our emotional outbursts can escalate situations, turning minor disagreements into major blow-ups. We push people away. Our unpredictable moods and behaviors can make it difficult for others to feel safe and secure in our presence. By mastering emotional regulation, we not only improve our own well-being, but also create a more positive and supportive environment for our loved ones to thrive. Cultural nuances. Embracing diversity in emotional expression. While emotions are universal, the ways in which we express and regulate them are often influenced by our culture and upbringing. What might be considered an appropriate display of emotion in one culture may be seen as inappropriate or even offensive in another. For example, in some cultures, it's common to express grief openly and publicly, while in others, it's considered more appropriate to grieve in private. Similarly, some cultures encourage the expression of anger, while others value emotional restraint. It's important to be aware of these cultural differences so that we can communicate and interact with others respectfully. When we encounter emotional expressions that are unfamiliar or uncomfortable, it's an opportunity to practice curiosity and compassion. Instead of judging or making assumptions, we can ask questions and try to understand the cultural context. Embracing diversity and emotional expression enriches our lives and expands our understanding of the human experience. It allows us to connect with people from all walks of life on a deeper level and appreciate the beauty and complexity of human emotions. Seeking support. When to call in the reinforcements. Mastering emotional regulation is a journey, and there will be times when you need support. Just like we wouldn't hesitate to seek help from a doctor or mechanic when our bodies or cars need attention, we shouldn't hesitate to reach out to mental health professionals when our emotions feel overwhelming. Here are some signs that it might be time to seek professional support. You're struggling to cope with difficult emotions. If you're feeling overwhelmed by stress, anxiety, sadness, or anger, and it's impacting your daily life, it's important to reach out for help. Your emotional reactions are interfering with your relationships. If your emotional outbursts are causing conflict in your relationships or pushing people away, seeking professional guidance can help you to develop healthier communication patterns. You're experiencing physical symptoms of stress or anxiety. Unexplained aches and pains, digestive issues, insomnia, and fatigue can all be signs of underlying emotional distress. You're turning to unhealthy coping mechanisms. If you're relying on alcohol, drugs, or other unhealthy behaviors to numb your emotions, it's essential to seek professional support. Remember, there's no shame in asking for help. In fact, it takes courage and strength to recognize when you need support and to reach out for it. Mental health professionals are trained to provide a safe and confidential space for you to explore your emotions, develop coping mechanisms, and build a more fulfilling life. Conclusion. The journey to emotional well-being. Mastering emotional self-regulation is a lifelong journey, one that requires ongoing practice, patience, and self-compassion. It's about learning to dance with our emotions, to embrace their complexity without being ruled by them. It's about cultivating a deep understanding of ourselves, our triggers, and our patterns, so that we can respond to life's challenges with grace and resilience. The rewards of emotional mastery are immeasurable. When we're able to regulate our emotions effectively, we experience greater peace, joy, and fulfillment. We build stronger relationships, communicate more effectively, and navigate the ups and downs of life with greater ease. We tap into our inner strength and unlock our full potential. Remember, you are capable of mastering your emotions. It's a journey that requires courage, commitment, and a willingness to embrace the full spectrum of human experience. But trust me, it's a journey worth taking. Start today, one breath, one thought, one emotion at a time.